Do you want to be able to walk into any single room and be your absolute most authentic self? Do you want to go from this to this? And this is your sign to keep on watching. From someone who used to be insanely insecure. I never used to get up and walk in front of the class because I used to be so insecure and embarrassed. I would always like have my hair in front of my face. I was so deeply insecure about how I looked. I was repelling opportunities away from me. Despite being an innately sociable person, despite loving speaking to people, I just stopped because I was so unconfident and I felt so insecure in myself. And from going from that person to becoming the person I am today, who is so confident, I can talk to anyone, I put myself into social situations, I put myself out there, I am on social media, I will literally talk to anyone in the street. I'm a very eccentric, I'm a very extroverted type of person. I'm about to show you and provide you with every single thing that I have learned from my life, from my experience, to help you become that confident person you deserve to be. So as I said, growing up, I was never very confident at all. I'd say I've always grown up with social skills. Like when I was little, my mum would always talk to me in the car. That is something, if you want your kid to grow up with social skills and be able to talk to people, when they are a baby, speak to them, because when you speak to your kid, when you are engaging in conversation, when you treat them and talk to them like an actual person, not like a baby, they begin to pick up on your social etiquette, they begin to pick up on the way you speak to people, and they will form and gain social skills. Now, social skills is very, very, very closely linked to confidence, because without having the social skills, you are not going to be able to become or be very confident, because you won't know how to speak to people, and that will lead you and make you feel very insecure. Confidence is very innate. It's very much in here. It's a very much internal thing. I believe arrogance is loud, confidence is very quiet. So if you can walk into a room and you can be confident, you can be very radiant, people pick up on it. People pick up on it before you even open your mouth. So like I said, despite growing up having those social skills, social etiquettes, in my teenage life, especially my early teenage years, I became very, very, very insecure. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the fact I had a freckle on my face. I didn't like my forehead. I did not like anything about my body. And this led me to become very unconfident, because when it would come to putting my hand up in class, I would never do that. I would absolutely dread being picked on. Like in some classes I was a lot better at it. In classes where I felt more comfortable with the other kids in the class or the teacher is when I felt like I could be more extroverted and my actual authentic self. But in the classes where I didn't feel that way, I would dread being picked on. And I think a lot of people in school can relate. This is not a unique experience, okay? I think every single person who goes to school can relate to this, that just being picked on in class is terrifying. It is the scariest thing ever, and it shouldn't be. You should be able to put your hand up and confidently ask a question. You should be able to, for the benefactor of your own development. The more I grew up and the more I sort of was more comfortable in my own body and in my own skin, that is when I started to experiment with makeup and a new style. Even when it came to being in big groups, I would never be the one to sing or dance or be loud. I'd always be very, very quiet, just because of the fact that I was very insecure and the fact that I wasn't very confident, and I didn't want everyone to look at me. I didn't want everyone to think things about me. And now I am the complete opposite. I want people to think about me. I want people to talk about me, because that is how I'm going to grow. That is how my business is going to grow. That is how my brand's going to grow. So you want to be talked about. And the more I learned that other people's opinions of you are just projections of their own self. Other people's opinions of you are genuine projections, and projections that we don't need to care about. It's none of our business what people are thinking. The only person's opinion that truly matters is your own. So when it came to then finally trying to become more confident, I actually understood and realised why I wasn't confident, and I understood the reasons as to what was holding me back. And when I finally started to uncover those and really realise what is going on in my mind, who are these people that you don't feel insecure about? What are these environments you do not feel insecure in? that is when I started to work backwards and develop my confidence. One thing which I am a big advocate for, and one thing which I preach all the time, is that people are not naturally confident. Confidence is built. Now, let me explain what I mean by this. We are not born insecure. As babies, when we are born, when we are little babies, we are not insecure. In fact, we are in our most authentic self. That's why you see a lot of kids' personality develop when they're younger. And when they learn to love themselves in later years, they sort of uncover and tap into their childhood hobbies or things they used to do as a child. Maybe they realise they're very extroverted as a kid, and then society, or maybe they got bullied, or maybe their childhood trauma shaped them into being someone who was very introverted. And then when they finally heal from that, they become extroverted. It's because when we are kids, we are our natural self. We are the most authentic version of ourselves because we have not been taught societal expectations. We have not been taught that how you are acting is not socially acceptable. We are so naturally authentic. But when we begin to grow up, and like I said, society knocks things out of you, society or people or your culture, or maybe it could be you are bullied, and you are now left as an insecure person. Therefore, to become confident, you have to build it up. People who are confident build their confidence. People who are confident have learned why they were unconfident and why they are insecure, to then be able to step outside their comfort zone and create a life full and filled with confidence. This means these people are able to attract new opportunities, they're able to attract better relationships because they are able to set boundaries and explain their boundaries because they have confidence. Confidence isn't just walking in a room with your head held high in an outfit that you like. Confidence is so much more. Confidence is literally an umbrella term for so many things. Confidence means you're able to set and define clear boundaries. Confidence means that you live in your authenticity. You are not afraid to wear that outfit. You're not afraid to wear those heels. You are not afraid to do any of those things because you're living in your authenticity. Confidence is also derived as well from your ability to be able to socialize. So if you are confident, you're more likely to want to socialize with other people, meet new people, talk to new people, ask people questions, just start up conversations with strangers. Now, to actually find the reason as to why you are not a very confident person, there are going to be a few separate different reasons as to why you may not be confident. You will know why you're not confident. You can find out maybe through journaling, shadow work, therapy. So the first one is fear of judgment. This is a big one. I could literally talk about this all day. I could talk about fear of judgment all day. I had this quote that basically said, when you have a fear of judgment, it is basically you judging yourself. That really stuck with me. It is so true. Now, one thing that I'm trying to work on a lot more better is praying in front of other people. So my salah means everything to me. Praying my 5 daily prayers means the world to me. Like, I absolutely hate missing them. I hate praying late. It's just something I love to do, right? But when it comes to being, say, in a shop, or maybe it's in I'm with people that maybe necessarily aren't Muslim or don't understand, or whatever it could be, I instantly feel very shy and I feel very awkward and embarrassed to actually say, look, I need to pray, just give me 5 minutes or whatever it is, because I'm thinking, oh, they're probably thinking I'm some religious nutcase, they're probably thinking this, they're probably thinking that, even though none of those things are true. None of those things are true. That is me judging myself. That is my own projections, that is my own opinion of myself in the format of someone else's opinion. Most of the time, it is completely not true. It is just your insecurities playing a voice in you. It is literally just your insecurities, and you have to be able to tune that out and realize, Molly, this is not true. This is not an opinion that someone else has. This is an opinion that you have of yourself. And that is basically an insecurity. And that is basically a low self-esteem, which is a negative opinion of yourself. So the fear of judgment is literally you judging yourself. And most of the time, people do not care. The second one is you have been taught by society, by your parents, by your culture, to be quiet, and you were shut down for being yourself. This is a big one. You see it all the time where a kid will be being themselves, they'll be their extroverted, flamboyant self, and the parent will be like, oh, calm down, stop making
lovely flight, everybody.
You are not going to be able to network if you're not confident. So for example, going to a networking event, speaking to new people, talking about what you do, talking about, you know, your career, or people know that she's confident, she knows what she wants, and she's going to get it. I feel very much more better filming these sit down videos. I actually love them.